you noticed it? The older we get, the faster time seems to pass. A week feels like 3 days. A year ends before we even realize it began. But time isn't moving faster. We're just feeling less of it. You see, we don't measure time by clocks. We measure it through memory, through moments. When we were young, every day felt new. Every sound, every mistake, every discovery, fresh, vivid, unforgettable. But as we grow older, life becomes familiar, predictable, automatic. And the brain, it stops paying attention to what it already knows. So the days blend together, the weeks fade, and the years vanish into a blur. But what's actually happening inside us? Why does a child feel like summer lasts forever, while an adult blinks and it's already winter? To answer that, we have to go deeper, into the mind itself, where time isn't tracked by ticking seconds, but by how fully we live each one. How the brain records time. Time isn't stored in minutes or hours. It's stored in memory. Think back to a vacation you took. You remember the days clearly, the sounds, the streets, the meals. Why? Because everything was new. Your brain had never experienced it before, so it had to pay attention. It had to record. Now try to remember what you had for lunch last Tuesday. You probably can't. Not because you're forgetful, but because your brain didn't think it mattered. That's the difference between time lived and time remembered. We don't feel time passing by its physical units. We feel it by the richness of experience. Children live in a world of firsts. First shoelace tied, first bike crash, first compliment, first heartbreak. Each of these is burned into the brain, stored like milestones along a long, vivid path. That's why childhood feels endless, a series of vivid, colorful scenes. But adulthood, we start to repeat ourselves. Same route to work, same meals, same conversations, same routines. Nothing stands out. Nothing is new enough to record. So the brain begins to gloss over entire days. Scientifically, this happens in the hippocampus, the memory center of the brain. It activates when we encounter novelty. When we don't, it stays quiet. And when you look back at your week, your month, your year, you don't see a full, colorful timeline. You see a faint outline, a blur. A psychologist once said, "It's not that you don't have enough time. It's that you haven't lived deeply enough to notice it passing." When the brain ages, time shrinks. You don't just age in body, you age in how you perceive time. As we enter middle age and beyond, something quiet begins to change. The brain no longer works the way it used to. Studies in neuroscience show our neural processing slows down. Dopamine levels linked to motivation and reward begin to drop. The hippocampus, the part of the brain that records memories, becomes less active. The result? We become less curious. We avoid new things. We stick to what we already know. And as our world shrinks, so does time. The brain, trying to conserve energy, begins to filter out the familiar. It skips the small talk. It ignores routine. It forgets what doesn't surprise it. This isn't laziness, it's survival. The brain prioritizes what's new and fades what it's seen too many times. So time, at least as we feel it, starts to collapse. You might go through an entire week and remember nothing. You might finish a whole month and feel like nothing happened. You might wake up at the end of the year wondering where it went. When we're young, we mark time with excitement. Birthdays, holidays, first dates, last exams. But as we grow older, those markers fade. Everything starts to feel the same. Flat, predictable, forgettable. Even in aging studies, researchers note a fading sense of time can be linked to a low-key, persistent sadness. A quiet kind of loss that steals meaning from the present. So when someone older says, "Wasn't it just January yesterday?" It's not just small talk. It's the sound of memory growing faint and time slipping by, not because it's faster, but because the brain no longer holds on to it. The auto loop. when you're alive but not really living. Have you ever stopped and realized an entire day has passed and you can't remember how you actually lived it? Wake up, wash your face, make coffee, go to work, answer emails, eat lunch, sit in meetings, drive home, scroll, shower, sleep, repeat. We call that a normal day. But it's not really life. It's the brain on autopilot. In psychology, this is known as automatic living. Your body goes through the motions. You reply to people. You complete tasks. You function. But you're not really there. You no longer taste your favorite food. You can't remember your commute. You forget what song was playing because everything has faded into background noise. The longer you live this way, the fewer memories your brain creates. Days go unmarked, weeks go undocumented. It's like flipping through a photo album with blank pages. Even young people today, in their 20s or 30s, are already saying, time flies. It's not because they're getting old. It's because they're already living on repeat. A Harvard study found that people spend nearly 47% of their waking hours thinking about things unrelated to the present moment. That means nearly half our lives are lived in mental absences. We live for the weekend. We live for deadlines. We live for expectations. But we rarely live for right now. And when we look back, we don't see a life filled with chapters. We see a straight line. Smooth, flat, forgettable. Nobody wants to live like this, but very few know how to step off the loop. Because routine feels safe, predictable, but it's also the sweet, silent trap that makes time vanish, memories blur, and years go by without leaving anything behind. Can we make time slow down? Yes, but not by controlling time. By changing how we live. Time is a traveler. You can't hold it still, but you can invite it to walk slower beside you. And it starts with one simple shift: living with intention. When you're truly present, when you notice the scent in the air, the way light spills through your window, the sound of footsteps nearby, your brain starts recording again. Each morning no longer feels like a repeat. It becomes a fresh page. So how do we capture time again? Introduce novelty. You don't need grand adventures. Try a different route to work. Taste a dish you've never had. Read something unexpected. Newness is memory ink. Slow down, consciously. You don't have to meditate for an hour, but maybe eat one meal without your phone. Listen to a song with your full attention. That alone can help time leave its mark. Write it down. Journaling isn't just for teenagers. It's proof to yourself that I was here today. Even one sentence can turn a passing day into something remembered. Feel deeply. Laugh until it hurts. Cry without apology. Hug longer. These are the moments that stretch time into something full, something real. Reconnect with the world. Walk aimlessly. Talk without distraction. Nature, people, silence. They hold the rhythms that help us feel time again. Because in the end, time isn't measured by ticking clocks. It's measured by the imprint you leave on each day. You don't need to live longer. You need to live deeper. And when you do, your time here will feel whole, rich, and unforgettable. Thank you for watching, for feeling, for being here, even just for a few minutes. If you'd like to walk with us again, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and let's slow down the world one story at a time. Until next time, stay curious, stay present, and take care of your time.